Listen, I'm about to tell you a story hidden behind centuries of dust, a secret buried deep within the annals of history. This isn't just about a few ruins. It's the tale of an empire that reached the pinnacle of greatness only to vanish abruptly into the deep shadows of mystery. Have you ever wondered why some civilizations suddenly disappear from the face of the earth as if they never existed? This story answers that question, an answer that will send shivers down your spine and make you wonder if we truly know this world as much as we think we do. Thousands of years ago, where today's scorching desert sands stretch endlessly, a magnificent empire flourished. It was called Erdania. You've probably never heard this name because it doesn't exist in any history book. The people of Erdania were far ahead of their time in knowledge, art, and technology. Their cities were built of gleaming glass and polished metals, sparkling like diamonds and pearls in the sunlight. Their canals had transformed deserts into lush, green gardens, and their airships, yes, airships, soared through the skies. They weren't just warriors, they were scientists, philosophers, and profound understanders of the universe's secrets. But Erdania's greatest power lay in its mysterious source, an energy spring that enabled them to accomplish all these astonishing feats. Some said it was a celestial stone. Others believed it was a hidden energy emanating from the earth's depths, and some considered it a gift from the gods themselves. With the power of this source, they could control seasons, bring water from distant lands, and create machines that are still beyond our comprehension today. The rulers of Erdania, known as the Guardians of Light, protected this source at all costs. It wasn't just the origin of their power, but the foundation of their very existence. They kept it hidden in a secret temple, where only a select few were allowed entry. These guardians claimed that the source held enough power not only to create the empire, but also to destroy it in the blink of an eye. Therefore, it was used with extreme caution. However, as in every great story, pride and greed began to fester. One guardian, named Kale, desired to possess the full power of this source. He believed that only the Guardians of Light were the true masters of the universe and should use this source to rule the world. He had become intoxicated by power and couldn't see that he was playing with a fire that could burn everything to ashes. Kyle secretly formed a group and plotted for years. He sowed seeds of doubt among the other Guardians, spreading misinformation about the source's infinite power. He promised to make Erdania an empire that would never fall, and its people immortal. The common folk, content with Erdania's prosperity, didn't fall for Kale's words, but some young and ambitious guardians were ensnared by his deception. Finally, one dark night, when a crimson moon glowed ominously in the sky, Kale and his followers attacked the temple. The Guardians of Light were unprepared for battle. They believed their protection lay in the spiritual power of the source and their own just principles. But Kale had replaced spirituality with brute force. A horrific battle erupted, swords clashing, energy blasts erupting, and the reverberations of the source echoing throughout the city. The scene was such that the sacred halls of the temple were stained with blood. The Guardians of Light fought bravely, but Kale used aspects of the source that no one had anticipated. He broke all the restraints that had been placed on the source's power for centuries. He unleashed an energy that had never been used before. As a result of this power, the temple's foundations trembled, and the earth began to quake. Cracks appeared in Erdania's glass cities, and lightning struck from the sky. A sharp scream echoed through the air, the scream of the source, now uncontrolled. Kyle, intoxicated by his victory, screamed that he had mastered the universe. But his triumph was a prelude to a horrific catastrophe. The source's unbridled power tore the earth apart. Deep fissures appeared, spewing fire and smoke. Erdania's great cities began to sink into the sand, as if they had never existed. Towering buildings vanished in sandstorms, and canals dried up. People tried to flee, but there was nowhere to hide. A red storm rose from the sky, engulfing the cities. Kyle and his followers also did not escape this destruction. The very power they tried to control consumed them. The source had taken its revenge, or perhaps merely rebalanced itself. Within hours, Erdania, a magnificent empire, became a legend. Its remnants were buried beneath sand dunes, and its story was forgotten by time. Generation after generation, it remained only as a faint memory, and then even that memory faded. It was an empire that existed, but now there was no trace of it. After the devastation, the world had changed. The region of Erdania transformed into a vast desert, where even today some traces of its mysterious energy persist. Some ancient tribes still tell stories of sky lightning or desert spirits that glow at night, but the name Erdania is not included in these tales. During this catastrophe, a last guardian named Ares managed to escape. He was not involved in the battle with Kale, but was in a secret chamber of the source, where he was performing an ancient ritual to stabilize the source. This ritual saved him to some extent from the destruction, but when he emerged, he saw that his world had changed forever. His cities, his people, his knowledge, all were gone. Ares dedicated his life to preserving this final secret. He knew that if this uncontrollable power ever fell into the wrong hands again, it could destroy the entire world. He spent his remaining life hiding the true history of Erdania and burying warnings about the source in cryptic codes and riddles, scattering them in remote and inaccessible places around the world. He wanted only those who possessed true competence and wisdom to handle this secret, not those hungry for power. Ares also realized that the catastrophe had set back human progress. Erdania's technology and knowledge were lost, and humanity had to restart from the Stone Age. That's why, when we study ancient civilizations, we always find some missing links, some progress that suddenly stopped, some knowledge that disappeared. This was Erdania's final secret. Its destruction had changed human history forever. Centuries later, in the present day of our story, a young archaeologist named Layla is studying the mysterious ruins found in today's desert. Layla has always been curious about the missing links in history that she could never quite comprehend. She believes that current history books are incomplete. She has been working on an ancient language that no one has understood until now, and she has seen some symbols that are beyond her comprehension. Layla finds a piece of an old, almost faded map that points her towards an unknown cave. This cave is in a part of the desert where no one goes, and local tribes call it the Forbidden Place. They say evil spirits live there, and whoever goes there never returns. But Layla's curiosity overcomes her fear. She sets off with her small group towards the cave. The journey is very difficult. Sandstorms and scorching heat test them. Finally, they reach the cave. The cave entrance is blocked by a large stone covered with strange symbols. Layla has spent her life reading these symbols, and she realizes that it is the same language she has been working on. She tries to read the symbols, and slowly the stone begins to slide from its place. Inside is deep darkness. Layla and her team enter with the light of their torches. The atmosphere inside is very strange. The walls are covered with ancient engravings, depicting technology and buildings that never existed in our world. She sees airships, glass cities, and machines that seem to operate without electricity. As they move forward, they find a large hall. In the middle of the hall lies a glowing crystal, emitting a dim light. Layla feels that this is the mysterious source. Near the crystal, something is written on a stone slab, which is Ares's final inscription. Layla reads it with trembling hands. She reads the entire story of Erdania's rise and fall, Kyle's greed, the source's destruction, and Ares's final attempt to preserve the secret. She understands that this is not just a story, but a warning to humanity. The power of the source should never fall into the wrong hands. It can not only build but also destroy. Layla also realizes that this was why humanity entered a dark age after so much progress. The destruction of Erdania wiped out thousands of years of development. This was the missing link she had always been looking for. Time seems to stand still in this hall. Layla feels a heavy responsibility. She must bring this secret to the world. But how? If this knowledge falls into the wrong hands, history could repeat itself. Erdania's final secret has become a terrifying test for humanity's future. Layla knows this is not just a discovery, but a responsibility that will change her life forever. She looks out at the outside world,